So you are absolutely right that the key financial reports that you need from QuickBooks are the following. You need to understand how your business is doing all year round, not just at tax time. I mean, I'm telling you something that you already know, and they need to be accurate reports so that you can make those informed decisions on reports that you can trust those numbers. Year-end tax reports being ready to go. If you have your QuickBooks set up correctly, it will be easy to update. And when it comes to tax time, it's just a few clicks of a button to provide the reports that your tax preparer needs. And I know that you may not be thinking of this, or some of you may be secretly thinking of this, but the best way to set up your QuickBooks reporting is thinking forward. Just imagine that some health scare comes along, or you're just simply tired of doing this business and you're ready to sell it. Somehow thinking through, okay, if I was going to sell my pool service business, what reports would I need to have to show that person that's going to potentially buy it? By starting at that point, it will cause you to set up your QuickBooks in a way that makes the most sense, provides the data that is needed, and bonus, if the day comes that you are ready to sell, you're already set up. It'll just be, again, a few clicks of a button to be able to generate the reports that you would provide to somebody that was interested in purchasing your business. Okay? So it's really not about, it's more about perspective. When we think about things as though we're going to own them forever, we can get sloppy and we can let the clutter build up, per se. But when you think about it through the perspective of, oh, somebody's going, like company's coming, or somebody's going to be looking at my business in detail, and they're going to want to see the picture of how profitable is this business, then you set up your reports the way that makes sense. And you need those reports as well. So that's how we set up our QuickBooks, checking all the boxes for those three things. So what does every business owner need? Regardless if it's a pool service business or any business, the key reports are a balance sheet, a profit and loss, the statement of cash flow, and then customer reports. We'll circle back to those. So what is a balance sheet? So a balance sheet shows what a business owns and what it owes at any fixed point in time. It includes the assets, so your current bank accounts, what that balance is, the accounts receivable, what people owe you, and other inventory assets that you have on hand, undeposited funds, money that's sitting in the bank but hasn't been documented yet in your QuickBooks, and your fixed assets, such as service trucks, service vans, or if you own a building or a property where all of those service trucks park, and you have an office that you run out of, a place that you store chemical needed and tools, then those are your fixed assets, that building and that property, right? And so that would be on your asset side. And then it would equal the liabilities and equity. So the accounts payable, what is due to people that you owe, credit card bills that have not been paid yet, that outstanding balance, state sales tax that are payable, and loans and notes that are payable, even if that's to yourself, as a business owner on the personal side, and then your retained earnings and your net income. So that gives you a true full picture of what the value of your business is at that time, even if you don't see the cash in the bank. All right. So the balance sheet is very important. And again, remember the perspective, if someone is going to buy your business, what is it worth right now? Profit and loss. Profit and loss is the one that you tend to look at the most. It shows how much money a business made and spent over a period of time. And then you made in income, your service income, your product income, minus the cost of goods sold is your gross profit. Then your expenses, everything that it takes to run your business. And that means your net operating income, other miscellaneous expenses, and then that leaves you with your net income, which we hope is positive. But as we all know, depending where your business is, it gets a bit of a strain in cold winter months, which we are in. Your customized reports, and then the cash, sorry, I didn't put a slide in here, but then the state of cashment flows shows exactly how much cash you have on hand. Now, customized reports is what most people were asking for, and it really is the secret sauce of setting up your QuickBooks specifically for a pool service business owner. And that's where I come in, right? So a profit and loss, that's pretty typical. Balance sheet, that's typical. Any accountant could show you that. But as a business owner, you want to go a little bit deeper, right? Or more narrow. So we're going to create customized reports by answering the following questions. If someone wanted to buy your business, what would they want to know? And is there anything else that you want to track in your business? So for example, as we know, as a pool service business owner, one of the most important things is someone interested in buying a pool cleaning business would want to know the following: the pool cleaning labor income and the expenses, so that you see where you're at in that. And as a business owner, that's what you want to know as well. Pool maintenance labor income and expenses. So this may or may not apply to you. If you have a pool service business that simply cleans pools and that's it, then some of these may not apply. But if you also do repair and maintenance work, it's really great to be able to pull a report that shows, okay, here's the income that I received from pool cleaning labor and the expenses that it took to provide that service. What's my profit or my loss? And then be able to pull that same report and look at pool maintenance labor income and expenses. You repaired a pump, you replaced a pump, you replaced the spider gasket, those types of maintenance things. Pool maintenance labor income and expenses. And then you can start to go, okay, is it worth my time to do these things, right? The next thing you might want as a pool service business owner, everyone should want, the pool chemicals income and cost of goods sold. How much are you paying for that chemical? And then how much income are you receiving for it? And are you upside down, or do you have a nice profit margin on that? What is fair and what is right? And I can tell you that that is something that is of key interest for anybody that would be interested in buying your pool service business as well. And that means you should too, if you're not already. Now, I'm preaching to the choir, so I'm sure you're already asking about that. That's why you reported in the survey. Pool repair parts income. So this is kind of tied to that maintenance labor. But if you are purchasing repair parts for the pool, such from, we use SCP a majority of the time, we purchase those parts and then we resell them to our client with a markup so that it's worth our time for doing it, right? So we want to see that in a report. And then this one, which isn't talked about very much, but is critically important if you are a pool service business owner. You also want to be able to pull a report that shows how your business is operating and what that profit and loss is, and then also be able to click a button and pull out your owner add backs or one-time business expenses. So what's an example? Let's say that you have a pool at your own personal home and you purchased chemical for your pool service business, but you're going to use some of that chemical for your own home pool or a pump. You want a way to be able in QuickBooks to be able to pull a report that removes the things that you purchased for your own self, that if somebody is buying your business, it shouldn't be part of that package. Because, to be blunt, you want to show the best possible picture of how your business is doing for somebody that was going to buy your business. And then you're going to paint a different picture when you're looking at your total expenses and income, especially when it comes to tax time. So having a way to put owner add backs into your QuickBooks and easily pull that report then gives you the option to look at your report as a profit and loss as a whole total package, including all of those expenses that maybe you didn't really need to make for the business, but you ran them through the business and it was cool to do so. But if you were going to sell it to somebody, you would want those pulled out so they could see how the business operates, right? So that is a key thing that we have built into our QuickBooks. Okay, so those additional reports, are there any other additional reports that you would like to have? So think through that. For example, number 6, I added, perhaps you want to track the profit and loss per pool service tech, and you could use tags in QuickBooks to do that. But without getting in the weeds of QuickBooks right now, I just want to show what's possible in QuickBooks if it's set up the right way.